Yeah, so one day I was at chess, one day something else, today soccer. So it's like on the move, so it's not like always entire duration of the meeting or not uninterrupted. But yes, I have been hopping in for the last 3 months.
Awesome, Swati, awesome. And I'm so happy that, all of us are busy with our own schedules, but then you're making time to make sure this learning goes as part of your schedules is something really wonderful. I'm sure it's helping you personally, professionally.
Definitely. Thank you so much for doing this, Brenda. And
Go ahead.
is this the only place where you put it forward for other people? Like, I think, more people should be able to connect. If it's just a WhatsApp group of so many ladies, it should be a bigger group or maybe more platforms. If you have a Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, you should, if you put so much time and effort into it, why not have more people, make it more visible so more join in?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for saying that. It is encouraging for me because I do this for a couple of multiple reasons. Wonderful. I'm here talking to Swati. Swati is from, I think, which part of US, Swati?
I'm in Alabama.
Alabama. All right. So Swati and I started interacting very recently, and she's been part of the productivity calls from the beginning, if I'm not wrong. And we're trying to Swati, to answer your question, it is my privilege and it is my wish, and I want to serve a lot of people. I've been doing organically where I can reach, based on my time and availability. I'm posting wherever I go, and whenever I have an interaction with any new moms as well, or even the family or friends, as long as it is available for no cost. I think many of us should make use of it, because not everybody has a time and interest to go and research and bring all the concepts in a concise way, which I was able to do because I have a passion to teaching, and then these are my favorite subjects, which not only helps me professionally, but it also helps me personally as a working mother. In which case, I will be expanding my yes.
Yeah, Brinda, I mean, the kind of stuff you are doing is very deep, what you present, and it's very nicely done research. I mean, you could put it in a book format, and these days you have so many publishing options. I mean, it's very good quality work that even online, it takes a lot of research and time and effort to do that. It's all put together in one place, and you express it so nicely. I mean, why don't you record yourself while you are even doing this meeting? Take another gadget, any device, just record yourself. This talk is so valuable.
All right.
And
So
not just when you meet people, not just when you are, one-on-one, like face on, when you meet people personally. There's so much social media. I mean, and I see very less people, in terms of like how useful it is. So please, from now on, make more groups and post it in different places and do your Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Just put it on and it will come up.
I'll do that, Swati. I'll do that.
Yeah,
Anyway, if you're not aware that I am recording these calls, it goes to my LMS, and I do teach 2 subjects: emotional intelligence for mothers and digital entrepreneurship. Somebody as a mom who wants to step into a mompreneur. So that's the journey. That's my course model. So that time I will be launching, I think, November or December. And in January, I'll go full on with ads. But for now, now, I mean, this parent group is there from last, I believe, March 2022. We started off consistently. Every Friday is when we meet, and we discussed a lot of topics about parenting, recipes, schooling, neighborhood, security issues, bullying, a lot of things we discussed. And then we eventually got some feedback, and then we went to personal development for mothers, right? That was so close to what I was doing professionally as well. So, and this is the reason why I have published a mind map based on whatever I've been doing research for my own self and for my business students. I've got a couple of students from USA moms and as well from outside. My primary target is from India. So I am coaching, a lot of people, and I'm finding a structure to reach a lot of people, both from India and USA. Because time zones is also a schedule, it's a challenge, right? So I'm figuring it out, and I've been in the journey for last 4.5 years, Swati, and your words means a lot to me. Keep in touch, Swati. So having said that, I've got 2 more participants along with Swati. Swati, thank you so much for your words, and you can stay unmuted or unmute whenever you want to ask or clarify certain things. And may I say a hi to other 2 people who joined? Can I ask you to unmute?
Hello, everyone. This is Swati.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
So who are these? Why don't you tell your names?
Hi, this is Nazima. How are you, Brenda? Hello, everyone.
Hello. Welcome back, Nazima.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been thinking every weekend, but then something or the other comes up. Even today I'm outside, but I'm like, no, I'll make sure I join the call.
Yay, great. Moms like you makes this these calls even more brighter, and it's very reassuring, right? Because I would like to know whether I'm the only one who thinks there is a problem. Is there the only one who's going through the problem? It's a common angle of all mothers, right? So these community calls proves us a lot of points that problems are common, but just that angle is different based on their journey, right? And it's so reassuring that even though you're busy with your schedules, you still hop on, and then that's a smart way to do a lot of things. Thank you so much, Nazima. And
absolutely, thank you very much.
All right. And I'm getting people from India also logging in. Let me say a quick hi to, so iPhone is your name, Nazima. So if you could change your profile name to Nazima, it'll be great. And Nazima is from Houston, if I'm not wrong. Swati is from Alabama. And there's another person on the phone starting with 478. If you could just say your name, unmute yourself, or change your profile name, that'd be great.
Hi, this is Vandana.
Vandana, okay.
And I'm from Dallas.
Dallas. Is this your first time, Vandana?
Yes.
Great, happy to receive you here. And we've been doing this community calls for last 1.5 years now. And last 7 weeks is when we've switched to self-development topics for moms. And I'm sure
that's great. Is there any way I can access what has been already taught?
Yeah, that's what we were discussing.
I'm assuming this is just a continuation of what has been going on earlier.
Yeah. And I've been getting a lot of requests to access the recordings. Of course, I do a recording because for various reasons, I am a digital tutor. So I, collect the repository for my future LMS, which I'm going to be launching. So recordings will be made available, Vandana, but then it will be on a very minimal cost, okay? Because it is important to it is important to understand the logistics involved, and we encourage people to come live, because live, it's a different interaction, right? It gives a different impact, especially when you share people from different parts of the world. I have even, I think, Anita from Dallas is joining, but then we met in India back just 3 months ago. So it's like I cater to Indian audience as well. So it is like it's like having a live event. Instead of that, we're just catching up on Zoom, and it's good to know each other when we have live calls like this. Great. Thank you so much, Vandana.
So is this going to be ongoing? Is this going to be
Vandana? Yeah, the intention is I will be going through a mind map where I will give you a structure about what is happening and how do we generally do this. Trust me, it's a little difficult for us to for me to concise everything, both culture building and then catering the community needs and also delivering the concepts. It might take little on and off over 1.5 hours, is what we have continue to have. Then I'll do my best. You will know the structure anyway. I will be opening the mind map now. Right, Vandana. So just be with us and unmute yourself whenever you want some clarification or something. Until such time, you can stay muted. Thank you so much, Vandana.
Thank you.
All right, I'll say a hi to Ani.
Hi.
Hello, welcome back.
Thank you. Looking forward.
Right.
Thanks, Brinda.
Super cool. All right, Anita is also part of these calls, so necessarily not need to recap. But for people like Vandana, I think it'll be good if you could just be with us, and then you will catch up anyways. Make sure that you jump onto these calls going forward. Okay, so what does it in for me? This is community calls on self-development, as I just said. As I just mentioned, we've been doing topics on parenting, schooling, bullying, recipes. We did whatnot. A lot of people join, and then a lot of people, the old timers, are not able to come back again for various reasons. And there are students of me, paid students, properly coached students, are also part of these calls. But then they just message me. They might join after half an hour or 45 minutes. It's totally fine. It's quite natural that it's not possible for all of us to be on a consistent role. But then if you have this culture in you that you're able to develop, to show up, build that consistency, naturally you'll be able to adapt this habit anywhere else, any spheres of your life. And this is just a small step that you're doing for yourself, for your own improvement, so that people around you will definitely be benefited. All right. So now what we're going to do in these calls will be, it's a learning call where mostly I will be delivering the concepts, but then I will ask you to unmute yourself and then share your feedback, or you share your opinion or your perceptions about any particular topic that we are discussing. One, just to know about your perspectives, because this community call has a main advantage of in a span of 1 hour, for a problem, we will get to know at least minimum 5 to 6 solutions. Isn't it great? Because if I just open up and ask yourself to unmute, and people give different opinions from their perspective, from their experience and their journey, right? That is a takeaway for me. So that's the advantage of having a technology, and what we're doing is very smart work. If you agree, just type in the chat smiley, because it is important to have the multiple perspectives. Otherwise, we will be doomed out thinking, okay, I'm the only one who's going through all these problems in the entire world. So that is one thing which got breakthrough in me the time when I started having these community calls in various topics. Okay, if it is a recipe calls, we used to have multiple recipes coming on, and if it is a parenting call, the same problem. It was very nice to see how other parents are handling the same problems. For somebody it could be serious, but somebody it could be very light. Okay, similarly, personal development. So what I've done is I have taken inputs from Google. It's not possible for everybody to do that because it needs a lot of organizing, structuring, and all that. And I'm presenting you a structured learning. All you have to do is just participate, learn, and I'm going to give you how you have to appear yourself, just in case you're wondering, like, what is this call, and then what do we do in this call, and all that. I will be explaining to you, and then apply wherever I ask you to apply. Come back and share in the group. You have the group, wonderful group. It's a private group where we share a lot of things. Earlier we used to share about our parenting issues, and then people will come out. Suddenly there is a cold, there is a cough, there is an illness, sickness with our children. We don't know where to go, so somebody will post, and people will bounce to answer. Similarly, for any tougher issues for relationship and all that. But if it's not subjective, it can always be discussed in the group. Okay, that is the reason we have formed the group as well. It used to be buzzing, it just slowed down because of various reasons. We will get that happening as well. And then we formed a leadership team. People like Anita, Vandana, Swati, people who Nazima for that matter, who came in and poured a lot of good wishes for these kind of groups to grow. We all form a leadership team, and then we conducted a hackathon where we kind of had a lot of habits inculcated. All these things formed as very nice things where it is not taught to us outside, it is not available, and when it is done free of cost, I might as well want to utilize this, right? All right, having said this, these learnings are going to be 90 minutes, 52 weeks, which is a period that I'm looking forward for just 1 year. Next 1 year is where I'm aiming this to go consistently. But even after that, it depends on what moms are, right now I gained your inputs, your feedback is given to me. So I feel it is positive. And then I might be having some other model coming in place where we can have this learning even more structured and, accessible. But for now, it is going on to go for next 1 year. And total of 78 hours of learning is what you're going to get from this every Saturday. All you have to do is just show up, just put on your headphones and just be part of it. Then you're getting a peer learning. As I just said, getting multiple perspectives is costly. It's not accessible. It's not easy. It is so very much available in this kind of a community. Okay, I will be doing a breakout rooms, but it depends on how many people are actively participating. Otherwise, this itself is a breakout room. I just have, you just have to unmute and then pop in your on. Okay, but most importantly, I've given this as an assessment. Whenever I tell you some concept, first reflect on yourself, analyze how it is helping you. Is it really true? You don't have to necessarily have a tool to analyze on all that. Okay, you don't have to spend whatever concepts you're discussing. Just take 1 or 2 concepts, go back, reflect, and then apply it on something which is going to be working for you. If it's not working out, super, go to the next strategy. But if it's really working out, come back to the group and share your feedback. I'm telling you, a lot of people here had seen the feedback shared from the participants who have attended the previous call, and they got inspired, and that's when they are here. I'm sure any one of you here could have, experienced that. If you have experienced that, give me an emoji in your chat. So your one word of share in the group will definitely spark an inspiration for people who have not been attending and they will want to attend, or people who have been attending and somewhere they got lost, they will also have that inspiration to come. And that is the that's the essence of having a community. Swati nicely asked, why can't it be given to a lot of people around? Why am I not able to share this with everybody? Of course, that's Anita is giving me an emoji. Wonderful. So that is my vision and mission. But there is time involved in it. There is a logistics. There is a lot of steps before we access a lot of people. I'm sure here people would have come, social media. Most of you would have known from social media. Again, there is a restriction. I won't be able to post the links everywhere. That means it's spamming, right? I need to add value to people's questions first and then invite them, because if I don't connect with their problems, people jumping in just for the reason and then, spamming the entire space is not something that I want to do. That is the reason I take enough time to, connect with the right kind of people. And people who come here, if you see, especially people who come into the calls, there is a Pareto principle that 80% and 20% in 100 people lot, that only 80% appear. The rest of the 20 people will be lost already. And even in that 80% of people, only 20% take action, like you guys. The group is about 80%. From, the messages that I've been circulating in Facebook, only 80% had shown the interest to join the group. And even from the group, only 20% shows. And even in the 20%, right, only 4%, that is 20% or 20% only takes massive actions. That is immediately they will take. You might want to test this from this own group. From this own group, the 20% of 5 people or 4 people, just 1 or 2 people only will take action, and they will come back for more episodes, for more action items. They will share it in the group. So this is the principle across any institutions, any groups. You may want to call it as a social or school. Even in school, it's a community, right? An organization, any teams for that matter. This principle, even within family, right? We have different personality and dynamics. 20% or 20% only takes that direct and take massive action. So that is the rule for here as well. It depends on you how you want to make use of this calls. But what we will have is the structure which is not available anywhere else. When you want to learn, there has to be a structured learning, because our brain, we are almost 30 to 40 years, right? Between that bracket of 30 to 40, our brain is already depleted in many areas. Addition of stress based on our lifestyle and our roles that we are as a parent or as a wife, as a family member, or as a community leader, we have been splitted. Our energy has been dissipated everywhere. So is our brain power. Okay, the food that we eat, the distractions that we are into, everything consumes energy and it depletes our focus. And that's exactly what we are going to talk today as well. The last week where we started off with focus and concentration as part of productivity skills. And you want to call it as yourself as productive, then it has to be some skills that you are displaying. That's exactly what we are discussing here. So when you are depleted in your focus, your brain power also gets depleted. And it is not possible for you to sustain that energy to, learn something. And that is the reason we have a structured learning. How do we do this? 3 steps. Any kind of a learning, okay, even in future or whether it's personal or professional, approach this in this way. One is you have to have a better awareness. You pick up any topic, you pick up any new habit or any new learning that you want to learn, whether it's in cooking or it's in your office business, or it is learning a new skill for your profession, or if you're an entrepreneur already, if you want to inculcate a new habit into your team culture or something, approach this way. First, gain the maximum awareness. Awareness means, I would rather say, awareness can be a intellectual awareness that is available in Google, information, books, and all that. It is also intelligent awareness, that is using your intelligence, percept. Okay, in short, it is called insight. So the sharing that I do here, it comes from my personal experience, and the experience can never be false. Your experience is very true to yourself, right? It is true. And I cannot say it is not true because it has not happened yet to me. So similarly, an insight is an informed awareness for your own self, or it is an informed awareness for myself to others. When there is a sharing happening, when there is an awareness created in a community call like this, it is definitely going to be an informed awareness. And when that informed awareness or insight is going to help you take better choices, am I right or not? Suppose you're saying, Brinda, I don't know which one to, which school to make my child join, or which course or class I want to make my child learn. Do you have any contact? So with my experience, I tell you a few things. Say, what, look for this. And if your child is interested, maybe this will suit you. In my experience, I share. That is the reason, that is one of the code of honor that we have. Whatever, especially me, I share things what worked well for me or worked well for me in the earlier incident. That is what I share in the group. And that is the reason that I restrict a lot of promotion activities, especially when it comes to, outside anything which goes to against the code of honor here. The intentions of why we build this community. The intention is very clear. It is for mothers and mompreneur. That is somebody who's aspiring to become an entrepreneur, or already an entrepreneur who wants to know how to juggle the parenting, the family, and then work and business and all that. The reason is because I am a mom to mompreneur myself. So it is very authentic for me to tell, hey, what? Don't do this mistake. I've done that. I burnt my fingers, and I'm here to that. As a mom, as a parent, all of us want to teach somebody something. Am I right or not? Give me a smiley. Because you've gone through so much in your journey that you want to say, hey, no, I did this. Don't do that. As a mom, you would like to understand this works really well for me, and I would like to share this with others. This is the reason why I started to become a teacher. And that's when the community all joined, the right kind of people join. So we share an informed awareness. That way, I collect the input from here and then go back and apply it. It is definitely going to be a better choice, at least in eliminating the time and effort that I've used. If I had not known that, then I would have gone lost in searching and researching and analyzing whether it is good for me or not. Am I right or not? So you end up with constant validation, seeking validation. Hey, I'm scared whether this will work or not. Instead, if you have an informed, choices, if you are already aware of it, then definitely your choices is going to be a better one, both for yourself and for people around you. Once you have your choices, desired choices, that you're able to have a control of your, what you want to achieve, that you're able to step into that direction because of your daily choices. Daily choices and long-term choices is not something different. When I say long-term choices, is like long-term goals. Daily goals is not different. It's like on the go. You have to have a combination of everything running into your mind every day. We are displaying our vision for family, our goals for our own self, our own career is actually replicated every day's choice. In every day's choice. What dress you wear for your work. Why? Because you want to display yourself. You want to present yourself really well for the next promotion. What kind of cooking, what kind of recipe you do. Why? Because you want to take care of your nutrition of your family and for yourself, the well-being. What kind of, body language, what kind of initiatives that you take, what is the expression that you show every day to your child, to your family. Why? Because you want to take the emotional well-being of your family really very serious. Similarly, what kind of dresses you wear, what makeup you want to wear, how you want to present yourself, because you care for yourself. Okay? Why? Because you want to have a sustained beauty, sustained radiance all the time. You want to look young. You want to be an attractive person. Why? Because maybe you can become an influence person or create some benefits out of it, maybe earning money or creating that influence in the world. Maybe you want to do videos and then it wants to be a viral, anything, right? So daily choices is equally important, and it is essential for you to have a direction to your long term. And the next step is to arrive at your better results. So you know where you are, that is point A, and you know where you want to go, that is point B. If you do not know where you want to go, even the Google map will not let you know what results you want. Unless you type in where and to, it's not going to let you give the results. So it is vital to have the direction, the goals as well. And then you will have a better result. The only missing element is awareness and your results. Between that, choices. And for you to make that kind of a choices, skills are important. So in this structure, we are going to learn what is right kind of awareness. I'm going to give you a lot of inputs like definition. You pick up any topic on focus. What is actually focus? According to me, according to you, according to the world, according to the top people who are successful. We'll discuss all in deep. What is the theory backing up in science, in philosophy, in research? And then what are the advantages and disadvantages? I want to know as a role, as a parent, as a working mother, as a family member, how is it important? As a business person, how is it important and how is it working for me? And if I don't do this, what are the outcomes? So we will go deeper. And then when you come to choices, we will see what are the skills that enables you to be in that zone. Suppose we are talking about productivity. Productivity is a status of being, like you are productive. You're being productive. Being is a state. So for you to be in that state, what are those things which enables you to be in that moment or that status of being productive? We are talking about essentially about capacity, whether it is quality or quantitative, and then enabling factors, essentially what is called skills and competencies, hacks, techniques, methods, approaches, all these forms as a capability building. Once you have the necessary capacity, simple, with that awareness and with that blueprint or capacity, all you have to do is just apply and you will find your results. Even if you don't find your results, you will know the missing element. Hey, look, I am talented. I have this necessary intelligence. Why am I not able to achieve? You will immediately get into that mode of, at least you're directed well in that mode. Suppose the person doesn't know where he wants to go or if he knows where he wants to go from point A to point B, he's still wondering, why am I not reaching? Because there is a gap in skill building. That's essentially what we will go deeper into each of these zones for each topic. Okay. I'm sure it is like for you as a mom, you may think, okay, isn't it not overwhelming? This is not essential for me because I have 2 kids. For me, what is essential is how parenting can be smoother and sweeter and nicer. I don't want a vision. I don't want a goal and all that. I don't want to be called as productive. I'm not getting a name from anybody. That's not how you look at it. Anything and everything you do is spending energy, spending time, spending money, spending resources. Even if you're not spending money, there is an energy spent. There is a time spent. Time is very, very critical. Whether you sleep or wake up, time is gone. Whether you do or don't do, time is gone. Whether you like it or not, time is gone. If somebody who is very, very conscious about time, at least for people who wants to be useful for somebody, they will definitely get a time conscious. If you're a mother like that, then all these essential integral parts that you're discussing to be productive is only making your time management really well. That's the whole idea. Because my mission statement is very clear. I want to serve 1 lakh women to achieve freedom from time, stress, and money. Time freedom is the primary result that it's the most wanting area of, getting time freedom is something that I will constantly work for. Whatever I deal, whatever transaction that I'm into, I will always see how can I save more time? How can I be more efficient so that I save a lot of time to do other things? So time freedom is essential, especially for a working mother life. Even if you're not working right now, as a mother, it is essential for you to become efficient. And then about stress freedom. That is what emotional intelligence talks about. The reason why I took this topic and then why I felt stress freedom is important, that is to be away from stress or to make use of emotions really well, because that will only support my longer goals. That is what is going to help my time management as well. If I'm stressed, I'm lost in something, right? I'm just thinking, staring at something. My time is going. I'm not being productive. Neither I'm being useful, whether I'm getting a monetary benefit or not, I am being disuseful for somebody, right? So stress freedom is equally important, not just for your time, it's also for your own well-being, because stress relates to a lot of health disease. When we are going to be talking about, I think after productivity, we will do the stress management. That's why we will get deep dive into it as to how the stress is created and how it is manifested in your health, in your finances as well. If you're not able to earn money, there is a reason to it, because your energy gets spent somewhere else. You're not aware of it. We need to tap that. Okay? So all this happens when you have the structure in your mind. Now about self-development, we will talk many aspects to it, but I gave you the structure. How can you make use of it? Participate, learn, reflect, apply, improve, and this could be for your career enhancement or for personal development. It's going to be a great start for you because you're building awareness. This is not taught in our schools, or neither it is going to be taught where we are in US. We don't have the luxury to attend a live training programs or something. Neither we are aware of such training programs available. At least in my 6 years before, I was nil in this. Although I was working as a HR in 2 big brands, the training given by the office is what I'm aware of it. But personal development is something that I did as a separate. I got certified as a trainer separately after I quit. So these are something which moms essentially have to know, because they have to manage their time, stress, and well-being really well. Cultivate great habits. That is for you to show up. Somebody who's, people like Anita or, somebody else who's been consistently showing up. Pooja is there. Pooja will be joining in right now shortly. So people like them, they show up. I have old timers, a lot of people who showed up for different topics. They're long timers and they got into this habit of, that is why hackathon helped us really well. So these things will build consistency in you culturally, so that you can apply the same thing everywhere else. And then you're building self-confidence. Suppose you know what is deep work and somebody is asking, you know what, I'm not able to concentrate. Would you not be in a position to just share, hey, you know what, I learned this model. You go for monastic, journalistic, bimodal, or rhythmic. How about that? You don't have to necessarily tell them these terminologies and make them scared. But however, you can always be on a top position just about them, and be able to explain what you know. That is the confidence that knowledge gives. Okay? And then obviously you're growing, because when you start applying is when you grow. Just by knowing or just by learning a PhD in guitar is not going to be making you a great guitar artist. You have to actually play music into it. Okay? How many of you it's a bulb on? You need to play guitar in order to apply what you have learned. And in order to get a music better music, you need to really play. That's when all these productivity concepts and all that will be giving you a better results only when you start. Okay. Now, certain code of honor is something that we will definitely discuss, but I'm going to be super fast today because we spent 15-20 minutes in the introduction. That was nice to know new people joining. Usually we have certain code of honor, like in the initial period that I was talking about, there is a Pareto principle and there is a community rules. I won't call this as rules here. It's just a honor that we do for this community. One is showing up consistently. I'm going to be showing up. This is my commitment. Unless and until there is an emergency or family vacation, I will be there for all Saturdays. Then on time, participating. It is essential for you to, if I ask you to go and type, just go and do it. You will know how you're transforming yourself each and every step. Okay. And when you reflect, when I go and ask you to go back to the group after this call, just spend a few minutes in your mind. There is a retention lock I've taught people. Okay. There is a key for you to retain concepts really well because we are in the learning mode. I must tell you how you can have the retention capacity increased in your brain. How? Remember these keys, okay? 10, 7, 24. Just do it. Wherever you are, just do this action. 10, 7, 24. That is, immediately after 10 minutes of this call, if you are able to recollect and just write it, you have the writing. When I say writing, you have the connection created with your nerves and your brain. And so it is very easy for you to reinstate what you're, okay? This is a sign. So within 10 minutes, if you're able to do it, it's a good reflection. That reflection is going to stay within you for long. If not, at least within 24. 24 hours is like one day. Within a day, if you want to recollect, and then it's okay. Even after today or tomorrow, if you come back and share it in the group, it is it's a good way. Or within 7 days, and after that it dissipates. I tell you, I challenge you. If you're coming after 2-3 weeks, you won't be able to even recap what you have learned in the few episodes. Okay, that is the power of our brain because that's the level of stress that we are all into. Earlier times there are no distractions like this. Now the world is full of distractions. We got to figure out how we are going to maneuver in between. That is why these productivity calls will give you those hacks to maneuver and go through that. Okay. Paying forward is another integral part that we are going to thank people who are present for this call and who made this happen. Okay. Even for me, you being here, when you share your perspectives, it's a big takeaway for me. It'll be an aha moment. Even if it's a minute spark that I'm getting, whether it's a word of encouragement from you, or it is a word of gratitude, or it's a word of intelligence that you're sharing, intellectual sharings that you do, it is a takeaway for me as well. Okay. So I would definitely go back to the group immediately after the call and make this as a practice. How many of you are doing gratitude in your life? This is one step towards gratitude. And if you do it immediately is when, otherwise I will put off and then it will go on. I mean, it's quite natural for us, right? So I go back to the group and immediately put my takeaways and thank the group. So that is a code of honor that we would like to have everybody in this. And now about awareness, generally about productivity, we learned a lot in terms of, we went deep dive into it. Now we are stepping into skills. Even in the skills, we spoke about awareness, skills, and direction under each skill. Okay. We spoke about time management earlier, and we started off with focus and concentration last time. And now for the next 1 hour, we will deep dive and complete the focus and concentration skills today. How many of you are excited? Are you still there with me? Give me an emoji or just unmute and just quickly say yes.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Super. Okay. So we spoke about deep work. It's a book published by Carl Newport. And I did some good research on this book. And I got some few points which is relevant to us as mothers and working mothers and a business. Okay. So what I've done is when it comes to awareness, I have bifurcated this deep work into awareness, skills, and a lot of things in awareness like definition, advantages, and then philosophies. Then today we will start with rules 2. Now, just to give you a recap about what is deep work philosophy. Deep work, when it is, done, what we choose to focus and what we choose to ignore plays in defining the quality of life. If you agree, then it is important for you to differentiate what is deep work and shallow. Just a quick recap to you, just in case you're wondering what it is. Deep work is nothing but professional task that pushes your cognitive, that is your logical reasoning to limit to be done in concentration mode. That is, and then we'll see what is shallow work was. Shallow work is like your cooking, because cooking, right now you must be I will not say an expert, or you really are an expert. Why? Because you have put that effort consistently. Now it is an autopilot in you. You exactly know what proportion you need to take. You exactly know, I'm sorry, this is a reminder. This is one of the concepts that I will be discussing for productivity, reminders, setting reminders. Okay. So when it comes to cooking, you're already on autopilot. You're efficient in that zone. But when it is a concept like this, okay, let's take this example. I'm talking about something where I might even ask you to just unmute and say what you learned, right? Sometimes I will quickly check. Okay. Nothing to worry. Just to make you alert, because when it comes to learning, attention is important. Focus is important. Okay. Because you're spending time, right? You might as well want to make it useful. So when you're cooking, it's pretty easy. And I would call that as shallow work. You don't need your logical reasoning there, or power of your energy or your brain is needed. Okay. But when you started cooking, you got to be alert. You don't want to burn your hands, or you don't want to do a wrong proportion, make it salty or spicy and all that. Okay. And even during cooking, I used to hear news or, my mentor calls and all that. I do that when I'm cooking. Why? because it's a shallow work. It doesn't require that much amount of attention from. But when it's deep work, it is new for the brain. Okay. When there is a new learning going, new perception gain, it is important for that brain to have that necessary time, focus, and attention, energy. You see, I used a lot of words. One is time. If you don't give undivided time, then, for example, this community call itself, you are here because although you might be busy somewhere, you still took time. And now when you're taken time, I asked you to pay a little more attention, because that's when, I asked you to be focused here, because I asked you to type, send emojis and all that, because I want to bring that focus to you here. Okay. And then when you're focusing, what you're doing is actually paying attention. Remember, where you pay attention is where the energy also flows. Okay. I can feel your energy. You're positive right now because there is a new learning going. And then where your energy flows is where the brain also lends you that power to the capacity to retain. So that is deep work. And now when you're doing this, suppose your child comes and knocks the door. Mama, I want this. That is a distraction. Or it could be your phone notification. Or it could be somebody who calls. That is a distraction. I'll tell you, all these are all common, and it is new distractions that we have got. Just before 10, 15 years, all these extra things were not there. Of course, people were there. Child was there. Parent was there. Emergency were there. But all these, small little distractions, especially digital distractions that we are into, it's only newly developed. Especially after pandemic, it has gone high, right? So that is carrying a lot of role in, for you to switch to deep work mode, you need to know what you have to eliminate. So distraction is a huge topic, okay? After you do that is when you actually get into a discipline mode. That is why after focus is what I have jotted down as discipline in my topic, right? If you see here, okay, so this is the skills that is part of, okay, now here, see? After focus is what you have discipline, and then comes motivation, and then prioritization, organizing, deep dive into, what is, how easy it can be for you to become productive. But essentially, this is where the time management comes, and then focus and attention, concentration comes, and then attention comes, and then discipline comes, and then motivation comes. Okay. I'm not making you overwhelmed, but just see how much is needed. Okay. It's not just easy for somebody to just switch over and call yourself as, oh no, it's not happening. Yeah. I don't think I'm good at it. I don't have the talent. No, don't be harsh on. Don't even ignore any, I would say be greedy. Be greedy to become the most richest person in the world. Be greedy to get what you want. But you need to do these steps before you want to reach there. Otherwise, it will just be a philosophy that you're talking. It's a mental speculation. Oh yeah, Brinda asked me to be greedy. Oh yeah, all these goals and affirmation going on. But without necessary skill building, it's not going to. Okay. Now coming back to focus, we did see what are the different models that this guy was talking when you want to switch on to deep work. We discussed why is this important and for whom it is important in the previous episode. Now we will quickly see what are the different models. The philosophy. One is monastic. Monastic means, simple words, it's like a monk. If you see a monk, right, highly disciplined, highly focused, okay, and they're like, you just cannot disturb them you cannot distract them. So that is the level of, their work will also be so intense and so deep work. Their results are so precise. Okay, you take any examples of any spiritual master. The reason why they are masters in what they are doing is because they immediately switch to, they have the necessary capacity to switch to deep work. Okay, don't worry, I can share the secrets with you, hacks with you. All you have to do is just apply and see whether it's working in your own spectrum of life. Okay, bimodal is reserving few consecutive days. Let's say in a week, 5 days or 7 days. Okay, 5 days work mode, and in that 5 days, 2 or 3 days consistently you work only on one particular project. The rest of the things you just keep it. Okay, that is another way for you to get into that level of focus. And then rhythmic is like taking in a day itself 3-4 hours for that particular thing. See, we are naturally rhythmic, right? In the morning when you wake up, naturally kitchen will be part of our journey, because we need to get the lunch boxes ready, breakfast and all that. And after that we are like scattered. But a person who has schedules already fixed, who has a goal, they will immediately get into either a monastic or bimodal. Are you with me? Do you understand where I directing you all? You may want to try that. You necessarily not be a working mother now, or you maybe not have a goals today. It's okay. But after this call today, I want you to apply this and see whether it is resulting in some shift. Okay, you can't be transformed overnight. That's not possible. That's not transformation at all. Transformation is a long time sustainable effort. Okay, you may want to see how this is affecting in your daily choices of life, daily transaction. Okay, and then rhythmic is something that maybe I have this rhythm. Okay, if I work out of 5 days, if I work 2 days focusedly well or 3 days focusedly well, immediately the next day my body drains up. I need a brain break, or sometimes even during the day itself when I'm intensely focused, I need a brain break. I hear my husband also saying similarly, the body breaks. So you need to have a body break, or simply don't do anything at all related to any work. Of course, cooking has to be there, but don't take it too serious. Just chill out. That's where you regenerate, you renew yourself. Maybe you look at your passion or some hobby, or binge watching. It's okay, but that's not the priority list. Bring a lot of other creative aspects, just opposite to what you have been doing daily. You need to do that. That's when people say, right, if you're taking the same route to work, for you to become creative, try out different routes to work. So the brain gets equal amount of both left side and right side work. You all know that we have this one full brain divided into 2 hemispheres. That is left side and right side. left side is logical reasoning, and right side is emotional skills. That's essentially what. And the whole work for your brain or for you is to bring the left side and right side in the middle. And that is essentially what is emotional intelligence. Okay, that is for another day. Emotional intelligence is another topic by itself. But it'll be very interesting for you to see how emotional intelligence, all these concepts is going to work in your personal life and profession. But for now, what you do, these are models, okay? And then journalistic. Journalistic, I think if there is an incident happen, okay, it could be a firefighting mode like emergency, or it could be some incident. Maybe it is something to do with your child, some attention that you have to pay, or seasonal. All these things could be journalistic that you attend and then come back. Okay, these are the models. Now, how do you play those models? What kind of rules that you need to have? One is work deeply. For you to go deep work, it's not enough for you to have the intention to work deeply. That's what I said. You just thinking that I have to do is just a mental speculation. We need to systematically install new routines and rituals. What is rituals? Practice. If I say, okay, do this affirmations or listen to some motivation videos or audio, that is a ritual. You doing spiritual practices is a ritual. You lighting a lamp, that is a ritual. Similarly, in our traditions, we have a lot of rituals, right? I would say like that, you can have a ritual for your own personal development, okay? For building confidence or for you to grow, improvise, a lot of skills, you can install rituals. So, which is what is going to help you get into that deep work mode slowly, gradually. All of a sudden, you cannot just say, okay, don't disturb, I'm going to lock the door. Now, deep work. And then your notification comes. That's not deep work, okay? One, you have to get your mind into that. That is what is the rituals. And then you have to eliminate the distractions that we will discuss. And then eventually you will get into your deep work, okay? Following a deep work philosophy will help you push through your limit and achieve great success in life. Most people want to have this flexibility. I'm telling you, top-notch people, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, you name anybody. If Steve Jobs would have been here, all these people have this philosophy. Why they're successful? If you decode that, their lifestyle or the way they work, the way their brain process, you will see, I would have given a lot of examples in the previous episodes about Bill Gates, about Jeff Bezos. Those are my favorite people, okay? I would have discussed about women entrepreneurs as well. So they apply philosophy, but then when you decode is when you will know, okay, these are the steps that they have taken. It is very important to find the deep work philosophy works, whichever model works best for you. You need to find that model. I discussed with you 4 models. You need to deep dive and analyze. Okay, Brinda had told me 4 models, but then I think today rhythmic model will work best. I'm going to apply. And tomorrow you will feel, okay, rhythmic model did not actually give me a good benefit. I'm going to switch on to monastic, and this is where you do trial and error and find out which model works for you. It is not because Carl Newport told us through his book or because I am telling you. No, you need to apply to see. That's how anything, right? Even as a parenting, when you are a young new mother, you don't know. Maybe because your mother would have told you do this, do that, or your in-law would have told you, or your friends would have advised you. But then you have your own style, right? You would have done trial and error and found something which is working for you. Similarly, this as well, you try and do. So when you're able to stick with one philosophy, I'm asking you to also embrace boredom. That is, when you want to switch to deep work, it is actually boring. I'll tell you, this is the truth. Paradoxes, it is definitely draining and boring. So for you to take efforts to deepen your focus, it will be a struggle if you don't simultaneously wind your mind from distraction, okay? It is important to, that's why I said, take a break. When you're working deeply, allow yourself to regenerate. Sleep is a natural recovery for body. Restfulness is maybe taking a nap or taking a walk, doing a puzzle, right? I have this, what is it? Crossword. Or just scribbling, sketching something, drinking water sometimes is good, or eating something sweet. Like this, there are many things that you can, immediately wind off or take a break. Do you have any other suggestion where you can quickly come back to the focus? Maybe having a green tea, which will give you more alertness. Any other suggestions? Do you have any hacks? Okay. If not, just think about it. And then we have, by scheduling internet time, that is, okay, so we have Friday movie night, okay? We have shifted that to Saturday movie night. The reason why I did this, because I have a Saturday morning calls here, right? In US. Because of that, I need to prepare on Fridays. And of course, it's a weekday and full of a lot of other schedules. And I go drained off. I'm not able to enjoy the movie. Neither my body. We discussed about circadian rhythm in previous episodes, right? How is it affecting your body, the biology, your sleep, your, bowel movement and all that. And hence you're not being able to productive. We discussed that. So I changed that to Saturday evening because Sunday I don't have any calls, so I can relax. Okay. I'll tell you, because I did this, I've been doing this for 7 weeks now. I'm able to see a lot of nicety in me because my body is actually allowing, and I'm feeling relieved, peaceful, mind level. I'm not being stressed, okay? Because the circadian rhythm is equally important. The body also has a rhythm, okay? That also has a rhythmic model. And if you see, the body also goes through these models really well. Monastic, right? In circadian rhythm, we saw when is our peak focus time. Usually it will be afternoon and mornings, okay? After 10. So that is monastic role of a body. Bimodal is consecutive days. Maybe you will see, in my experience, right? Before my periods time, consecutively before my periods, 1 week, I'll be peak of alertness, and the body cooperates me really well. I'm productive. I should call those are productive days. And then right during the periods, day 3 to 4 days, I'm off. I'm like, it goes unusual. I can see the body takes its own rhythm, right? And of course, journalistic, it's like firefighting mode. There is something to be, we are always like mothers are always I would not say always. When you're always in fire mode, I think that will lead you to burnout. It's an alarming red flag. But you can see yourself that let's say if it's a vacation that you need to plan, you become so interested in that planning and initiating and delivering and all that, right? So that is only for a shorter time, because after that vacation over, you got to get back to the routine, both for your children and for yourself. So that is journalistic, and you're winding off from the usual work, and then you're allowing your body to just relax and be happy. All that empathy skills comes, and you inquire about a lot of things, do a research, and then logically you derive a plan, what is pros and cons, you fix a destination, travel mode, food, everything, right? So that is journalistic. Are you with me? Is this a good example? Do you understand that model right now? Yes or no? Okay. I just want to know whether you are with me. Either give me an emoji or just unmute and say, otherwise I'll keep going, and I wouldn't know whether somebody is still there with me.
We are with you, Gunda.
Okay, Anita. Right. Thank you so much. Okay. So what he says is being in this deep work mode is definitely boring. And I want you to embrace that. Have some tolerance, have some compassion with yourself. Also tell your, people around you that you're getting into this mode. And so they are not part of distractions. We'll see that as part of hacks. That's what I do. Okay. Whenever I have a community call, I prepare my family. Even when she was small, 6 years, 7 years, I've been preparing her. You know what, mama has this vision and I want to teach. I want to be this way. I've been preparing her for a long time. I'm just waiting for her to become independent. And so I can concentrate, right? Similarly, with your spouse, only when you communicate, only when you prepare them, they will actually not serve as a distraction. In fact, they would like to cooperate, because when they see this kind of a culture, this kind of consistency is building in us, they look at us differently. You can earn that respect. You can earn that cooperation easily. So it is easy for you to switch on to deep work mode whenever it is possible. Okay. So it is going to be boring when you want to work deeply. The next best thing is quit social media. It is not possible, right? It is not possible for us to quit social media at all. For that matter, people like Vandana, people like Swati, there are many people who came into this group through my Facebook post, through my, somewhere I could have posted my video and then they got connected. So although in-person interactions is not possible in USA, but it is very much possible in India, like, how I interacted with Anita. It is equally important to also switch off social media when it is not needed, especially when you want to step into the deep work, okay? Because by cutting down your internet time, you'll be more productive at work, relationship, because you can have an undivided attention given to your child or to your spouse. These are some surface level that I'm telling you the benefits. I'm telling you these are some practical things which we will be discussing in the relationship topic or stress management and all that. You will see how much I'm going to give you another data in the upcoming topic of distractions, where by research they say when it comes to focus, right? I can give you one research point on focus. They say if you want the focus or deep work mode, it is important for you to be not distracted, because one distraction, it could be anything, just a simple notification or a call, as I was telling you, or it's just an email popping up, or it could be Instagram, or it could be even the cooking, half-baked cooking, or you want to go back to the cooking and finish it, or it could be your, playtime, your child is scribbling or anything, okay? I'm just not able to tell you the scenarios right well. Any distractions, any small distractions for that matter, it's going to eat up 25 minutes of your time. So by research, they say it is taking 25 minutes for you to come back to that focus. It's with one distraction. Imagine how many distractions we get roasted in a day's time. And imagine, see, in a day, resting, sleeping, and sleeping itself is 1/3 gone. The rest of the time, 2-3 hours, you need to bath, you need to cook, you need to eat, you need to go for bathrooms and all that. 2-3 hours is gone. And only 50% we have time. In that 50%, if one distraction comes and then you go back only after 25 minutes, you can come back to the same, okay, where did I leave? Imagine how much we are unproductive. So if you understand this, if you have this right kind of awareness, you cannot unsee and undo after this. So when you want to work, even if it is not a deep work mode, please make sure when you're even talking to somebody, right, allow this as a habit in you today. It's called undivided attention. When you practice this, when you're interacting, starting from now, right now you're listening to me. When you go back, you talk to your child, she wants to say something, or your spouse wants to say something, pay that undivided attention. Even if there is a call coming in, you can always put it back. You can always give them a call. It can be a missed call. It's a syndrome, right, that we cannot miss any call, we cannot miss any messages, we cannot miss any reels, we cannot miss any parties. It is all myth. Understand, for you to be productive, you cannot be there for all parts. It is not possible. Do this, and then you will see, if this really making sense. And then they're saying by creating an effective schedule. Okay, so quitting social media is coming under a topic of detox, which I will let you know. But the fourth one is draining the shallow. That is, I discussed with you what is shallow work. That which doesn't need your logic reasoning can be shallow work, which is in short, it is called daily chores or daily transactions that you're efficient enough. You exactly know the methods and structure, how much time you need to spend, what kind of capacity that you need to spend. But shallow work actually doesn't give you the desired. Shallow work doesn't give you the desired. Only the deep work gives you the desired. Now, can you see, in a day, people have 80% of shallow work and only 20% they get to do the deep work. And that 20% is what is giving them the risk. Okay? Now, how do you approach? I'm going to quickly jot down 10 approaches. One is setting up work routine. Out of these 10 approaches, you may want to take 2 or 3 and practice. Okay, we will quickly see what is setting up deep work routine from your mindset level until application, or even directing your family people, because you're making some changes, right? It's better to inform others, or they will see your actions and then that should definitely not be a distraction. Okay, it's better to inform, or if you don't have that communication level, by looking at you, they might be conveyed that that's something important. So setting up a routine is equally important. How are we going to do it? First is decide what is deep work for you. What kind of task you need to attach importance as deep work. Second, how will you work once you start? That is, start to finish. How do you want to work? Is it on digital platform or physical activity, or is just thinking creatively, mental activity? How do you want to work? Then where do you want to work? Identify your location. For me, thankfully, we have a separate room. The entire space is designed for the moment I step into this room, I kind of get a feel that vibe is created already, that I'm getting into a deep work mode. I want my body and brain is suggesting, okay, I'm getting into the space, so that means Brinda is going to switch over. Okay. Similarly, when people at my place see them, I need not lock the room. However, when I lock the room, it is understood that she is into something very intense, that they won't disturb. Okay. The only thing that I have to manage is the digital distract. If you have a quiet room or quiet space in your house, it's okay. If you don't have, find out maybe in your community office. If you're working, then it might as well be a or a library. Okay. How long? Set a specific time, because you cannot sustain in monastic model, or you cannot sustain in any of those models for a long time. You have to set a particular time, and it will be better if you could inform either your team member or your family member, so that they also don't distract. How will you support your work? It is also important, by you doing that, how are you supporting your work? Is it taking you 10 steps ahead in your work, or you're doing it for other team members? Is it helping them, or is it your family? Is it helping them? Find that pros and cons. Just have a weightage. You simply don't get into something, switching on to deep work, and then that work has no relevance to what you're working. So you need to have that systemized support as well from the other. As I just said, by informing your family people, that itself is a small step for them to support. Preparing them is also a small support. But if you're in India, it's a luxury for you. You have made for everything, right? You also have a shared space, workspace, co-sharing space, and you have so many things that you can work on. If I was in India, I would have taken a staycation. Staycation is a new trend, that you just block a hotel room, you finish your work and come back. So this is not possible here, and so we will find other ways. Organize your deep work is also important. For you to, once you have the routine set, that is, okay, this is what it is. You're setting up the space and task around you. You also need to have a schedule. A systematic way is important for you to get into that mode. Apart from routine, you need to understand what work that matters. As I said in the previous step, it is important to choose that task which is really, I would say, important and urgent. You know that matrix. If not, at least you should have a bigger vision which can tell you, hey, look, this is relevant to what I'm working. Okay? And accept laziness. While the results should lead to higher productivity levels, your ultimate goal to have more time for yourself. That is why we are talking about time freedom here. And the results may not be overnight as well. Even if you're switching on to deep work mode, yes, for 3 days, I locked myself. I said, I'm not doing anything other than video making. I did have the results of what I did, but then it may not be, because all the time you cannot be in the monastic mode. Neither can you be in the rhythmic mode. It will take time, but it is bound to give you the desired. However, even when the results have come, don't attach too much to the results, but enjoy the process. Now that you know this process is working out well for this particular results. For example, if I want to, launch my business, or if I'm working for a particular project in my company, and I apply this deep work model, my project is completed and it is successful. Now I know the process is working. All I have to do is just enjoy the process and apply the same for the next project. If it's family, suppose you plan something and the plan worked really well, both for your CC. We planned zipline courses. Okay, it's a short vacation. The entire planning and execution was on me, because I have to involve other family members. We were about 10-12 people. Okay, and now for those people, a few people fizzled out, and other people were still sticking on to it, because the concept is like that. Zipline is kind of an adventure, so we have to prepare them from the beginning, prepare the children, prepare the spouse. Sometimes spouse will fizzle off. A lot of things, right? When you want to do it as a family, it involves a lot of emotions, a lot of interest, dislikes, likes, and all that. Apart from that, the time when we approach the place, and then how we are enjoying the process. Are they scared? What if they all pack up and go, and then they say, no, we don't want to go there? So it is very important. Every moment I have to be intensely present there. I have to have a team which is going to encourage, be with me, cooperating, and all that. Even when the other people are not there, we have to be encouraging. I must say, okay, just for a zipline, you don't have to be, this level of focus. No, for me, it was a project by itself. And the end result was so beautiful. Even spouses had, few of them had phobias. I must tell you, they had height phobia. Okay, I don't know which phobia is that. but they're scared of heights. One of the dads who came has already forgotten, by the time he finishes, he had forgotten that he had a phobia. Similarly, a mother who said, I have a knee pain, I can't go for a rock climb. She did completely well. And it was transforming for them. They said, I think we should do this as a trend. Like we should keep going and challenging ourselves. It is physical. It is also emotional. Mentally, it is making you strong. And when the kids see parents doing, they also want to do more. And when the kids are doing and the parents are also encouraged to do. So there are a lot of things happening there. So you see this kind of things gives you a model. The process is good. And all you have to do is just apply the same thing in other. To work on that matters. Again, I'm coming to how do you choose that mattered work? What is important? What is urgent? You need to understand your priority. If that is not clear, then you spending on deep work mode is actually draining your energy, draining your time, wasting your time. Identify small number of ambitious outcomes that you want to pursue with your deep. Again, it is attached to goals and your priority. Finding your lag. That is your goal is trying to be that particular goal that you're trying to be. And then what is the behaviors, the metrics that you need to be there? What kind of changes do you need to bring? Suppose you need to work a deep work. You want to switch into deep work. You need to prepare yourself, right? I'm here for the call. For the next 1.5 hours, I ask people not to disturb. Suppose I'm not dressed up properly, or my hair is not here, or the camera goes like this. All that is not set properly. My concentration, focus, everything is getting scattered. My energy is also. It is very important to find that gap and fix it. Similarly, on your capacity, okay? Then develop a scoreboard where you track your time. It is very important because you just cannot, maybe your body will allow you for the first day or 2 days for you to become the monk mode. But then the 3rd day or 4th day, even before you could finish a project, it should not burn you out. So you need to have a particular schedule time within which you have to have the focus, and then analyze the results. It is very important. You need to do a trial and error and not just leave it. If you found that is helping you, you need to attach that and apply that in the other process, for which you need to take a feedback, analyze, reflect, and course correct. Okay? Now comes to social media. This is another approach where social media hinders our ability to focus. We just spoke. Now, spending too much on social media, it's actually breaking your time and reducing ability to concentrate. Social media is actually spending time on higher impact activities. It's actually a zero-sum game. The reason why the social media distractions comes time and again is because it is the distractions. I have realized in my experience recently, I've knocked off all this, notification. I'm going to tell you how do you do that. But do you really want to know this, or do you already have, hacks? That what I'm asking is, do you already know how to knock off your notification on your phone? If not, I can quickly tell you right away. Anybody wants to know? Okay. You may want to know this. You may want to learn it and then maybe do this later. It's okay. Under the settings, you have something called notification by itself. It's a topic by itself. Like it's a section by itself. Go there, go to notification, disable under each app, especially WhatsApp or any Telegram app or YouTube, news channel, anything that you want to choose. And I would say choose for all. Disable the notification. And then you will see how much you are free from. The only notification that I get, there are only 2 notifications that I get. One is calls, another one is a reminder. That's all I'm getting. I must tell you, in the last 3-4 months, it's given me so much relief. It's given me a lot of time free. Do this, then you will know you can have time for other things to concentrate. Okay? If you want to eliminate the addiction to pull entertainment sites and all your attention, giving your brain a quality alternative is also important. Quality alternative is meaning, without the phone, keep the phone. Even during sleep, right? My own family members have this habit of listening to either music or drama and then sleep off. Okay. They keep the phone underneath. Of course, it has brain damages. I have real-time people who have been diagnosed with brain hemorrhage all of a sudden. They don't have symptoms. They are pretty healthy. They are very disciplined. Yet after pandemic, everything is gone for a toss. Even the elders, they got into this addiction. Okay. They just listen to the YouTube conversations and all that thing. And then they keep it under their pillows and then sleep. Radiation is too much because one simple act. I know a person, a friend of mine, her mother, who's staying alone, who has no, connectivity to internet before pandemic, but only in the recent past year, she's undergone this habit. Now she's hospitalized with her brain. I told this to my family people. And then what we have decided is we're keeping the phone away from our bedroom, which means we're keeping the phone in the hall, which that essentially means that we have to go there to reach our phone. So we will not do that unless there is a call and we know the caller tune and we will not go and reach there. Okay. This is a huge step towards well-being. You might want to try. Otherwise, simply knocking off, disabling the notification will definitely help. And why is downtime crucial for you is because restfulness is equally important. Body has to recover. That also helps you recharge the energy that needed to actually work deep. It is important to have a shutdown ritual so that it is ensuring that every incomplete activity has been reviewed and then each you have confirmed, either you have a plan or you don't. It's written down and saved in a place where it will be revisited. Okay, this is more of somebody who has a to-do list, a scheduled format. It is important to wind off and then come back to do the incomplete activity, because that's where. How many of you have a habit of shutting down the computers, the laptop? I do this. When I wrap up for the day, I shut down my computer because the system, the tool also needs, the electronic device also needs that shutdown, recovery time. So it is very important to shut down everything. But essentially, when I open the laptop the next day, the reminders and to-do task just pop. So that way, similarly, I have a to-do list the previous night itself. All I have to do is when I want to go to the deep work mode again, I have to do only the quick look of incomplete activity. Instead of me being overwhelmed about the entire activity, what I'm supposed to do, I'll go and knock off I would have already knocked off the ones which is already done. And the pending task is what I have to continue to focus. And then there is also another ritual, evening shutdown. In the evening plan, you plan for the next day. This is example that I just gave. You write down things that need to be done the next day on the previous night itself. Because when you wake up, right, you're like wondering, okay, why should I wake up? Just 10 more minutes, 20 more minutes. There's nothing big. But if I have a to-do list already prepared the previous night, I exactly know why I have to wake. This is another hack. I have seen it myself. When I have not prepared the previous night, the next day I'm postponing my wake up time. Okay, so this is also important. And then the approach a craftsman will choose, that is identifying the key elements that determine the success and happiness in your professional and personal. This is what a craftsman will do. Because for somebody who's creative, the end result will definitely be the satisfaction and happy. But somebody who's logically approaching, they would crunch in numbers and they would wait for facts and figures and a history to happen. Approach this as a person who's a craft involved in arts would do. Approach this entire model as a art. Okay, of course, the science behind it, but then apply it as an art, and hence you can measure that. The success rate can be measured like when you do that, when you completed that, how happy are you, how satisfied are you? Does it make sense? When you have this measure of happiness and satisfaction is when you can actually say, as a mother, that's all I'm required. Even if I plan for a movie, right, I would say I would like to see how much my kid enjoyed. I would like to see whether my spouse enjoyed, because by the time we dress up and we go to a theater miles away, we spend on dollars to watch a movie which is equally available in OTT in the next few weeks. Why would I do that? And how am I measuring this? Whether it is okay for me to plan it next time. If they have shown me some laughter, some smiles, and I'm like, okay, nice spent, well spent time. That is when I'm going to measure whether this is working on. Okay. Similarly, list down 2-3 activities that require you to achieve this goal in your personal and as well as professional. For you to achieve happiness and satisfaction rate, what are those activities that you need to do? List down that. And you attach that importance and priority to it. That for those matters, if you work deep work, then it is meaningful and you will want to do that more. Maybe that becomes your mission of life. Okay? Adopt a tool only if its positive impacts on these factors substantially outweighing the negative. It is very important. It is very important for you to identify the work that really matters and approach this as an art. Okay. Now, last 2 approaches and rest of the approach we will see the next. Okay. Another approach is somebody who found this as a packing party. Okay. Mr. Ryan so-and-so is a film producer. Once packed up everything. The entire apartment was packed up. Okay. Not that he wanted to shift, but then he packed up as though he wanted to have a shift in location. And then he began taking out only what he needed. How many of you here have watched a series called Minimalist? I would insist you to watch this. That will be a challenge for this. And how many of you did the challenge of last week I posted? Blue Zones. If you're not watched that, I would insist you to watch it with family or without. You will know how much health is important. Okay. Similarly, for this week, watch the series called Minimalist. You will understand how much junk do we have we accumulated that affects both our mental well-being, physical well-being, and emotional well-being between our relations. Because the junk that we want to save may not be really useful or relevant or peaceful for the other person. The mental junk we have here gets manifested as physical junk. The shopping that you do is a representation of mental junk here. I'm not saying I also do shopping. Okay. I'm not saying all our shopping items junk. What I'm saying is those which is not necessary. Use his example. He found in no time he realized the stuff he actually used made up of only few things of his total possession. Out of the cotton box that he picked up, only few boxes were actually useful and relevant for daily choice. Rest of it just laid there. That is why we built a museum around our house. In the house itself is like a museum collecting a lot of things. The next few weeks, I think if not next week, following week, I will start a topic of decluttering. There you will know how much of mental decluttering, space, environmental decluttering, people decluttering is very, very important. Or in other words, it's called detox. Okay. So this realization is also validating his decisions to downsize and declutter. If you want to go one level deep, even after you minimize what you need from all your junk, you can go one level deep. If you want to know what, I'll tell you in the following weeks. But it is called essentialism. That is, even if you are minimized, under that minimalism itself, you want to apply 80-20, only the 20% is actually essential for your day-to-day life and even for your long-term goal. Isn't it mind-blowing? So that's exactly how much you need. But we are overpowered, empowering ourselves to buy so many things which is not needed at all. Imagine how much are we spending our time, energy, money, resources. Applying this strategy to our social media habit also is like how you have to do is next 30 days, assess how you feel without having this notification. You will immediately feel there is a relief. There is also a feeling that, okay, I can still go back and watch. There is nothing big going to happen. Okay. Now I'm going to stop with this here, and I want to ask you quickly, what was your takeaway and what approach do you think you want to? Anybody wants to share any one or two approaches that you would like to take? All right, that's okay. I leave you with these concepts, and I'm sure it takes a little time for you to reflect. It may be new, pretty new. It may be overwhelmed. It may be something that you want to try and then make sure it works for you. It's totally natural. But I would want you to go back to the group and put your takeaway. Remember the log that I gave you, 10, 24/7. That is at least, it's a mantra for our learning. If you have spent time here, make sure the time is useful for you. Go back to the group, and then within 10 minutes or within a day's time, I would want you to go through this in your mind and give me at least 2 takeaways, what you would like to, okay? With that note, I hope you enjoyed the session, and I will see you in the next session, because the next session is where we will complete the approach and you will find super duper hacks, okay, where I will teach you what is meta attention, what is detox experiment we were just discussing, and how do you master hard things. These are some my favorite things, but you will also see other few hacks which is going to help you be in this deep work. I do tell them, if you could just pass on the word to your friends, anybody could be benefited from this calls, because it's a knowledge sharing call. It's going to be free. Okay, until I see you in the next